Hi, this is Kelly Leeper, and I'll be talking again this week about the Indianapolis Children's Museum. It's hard to believe it's already week 10, and our video assignment for this week is to elaborate on our written strategic plans from last week. As I've mentioned previously, I don't have any volunteer experience at the Indianapolis Children's Museum, so this has been somewhat of a challenging course for me, but I have done extensive internet research and also have talked with previous guild members and do have a pretty good feeling about the Children's Museum, having attended there with my family probably close to a dozen times. This final week is about connecting the dots for the strategic plan, and since the Children's Museum is about families and children connecting to the arts, sciences, and humanities through experiential learning, it makes sense that they would not only want to focus on their local area, but also to be a global leader that ignites a passion for learning, since that's part of their values and actually their vision statement as well. In performing a needs assessment, I suggested doing focus groups to help with the strategic planning process. There's a large number of stakeholders with respect to this museum, obviously the common ones being the board and staff and obviously guests. But they also have guild members, they have councils, they have corporate partners they work with extensively, aside from the community at large, which not only is children and families, but teachers, and they also really consider themselves part of the global museum community. So conducting focus groups definitely gives a broader scope of responses when working with several different stakeholder groups, and they're very helpful when getting feedback from children, which is one of the major reasons to use a focus group in this situation. So I made some assumptions about what the strategic priorities would be, and for this assignment's purpose, decided to focus on developing the public knowledge of sustainability practices. And I used a logic model since it's an effective way to visually describe and plan for steps of a project. It's also a great tool for setting deadlines and as a way to stay on track. So my theory of change is if the museum can grow the public knowledge of sustainability practices, they can help enlighten children and families to understand their roles in being responsible for the care of the earth and its resources. And obviously with the logic model, we break it down into the various components. The resources would obviously be the staff involved, the time and money to incorporate conservation features actually at the museum, in addition to kind of greening their day-to-day operations, and then obviously also create, the time and money needed to create the programming and the exhibits. Activities would involve meeting with staff and the councils, hopefully with maybe some local and national sustainability experts to start the education process internally at the museum, which would allow for them to develop a visioning plan and set an example for not only just other museums, but just other organizations in general. Activities would also include the audit of operations, creating the exhibits, the programming, and collaborating with potentially like-minded companies to create national outreach opportunities. So I've listed here the outputs, which I think are always important to have some dates to really shoot for to keep the plan moving, and the various outcomes as well. The most important in my mind being that they are becoming a leader in the field and can prove how them walking the talk can also benefit other organizations. Teachers, there's a whole part of the site that involves, on their website, involves teachers getting the most out of the museum and really helping them to do that. So programming for teachers would be really important, and that would allow for teachers not only to affect their students, but their schools and the larger community. And families attending different programming opportunities and exhibits would help not only implementing practices in the home, in the homes, but for the greater community, which is also kind of what I allude to here in the impact section. So thanks for watching, and it's been a great class, and I hope everybody has a fabulous break. Thanks so much.